Hi, I'm Becky Carlson of thefearlesscoach.org. Now, I just opened up my Facebook and I happened to catch the press conference for the University of Iowa's athletic director, Gary Barta, on YouTube. As you may or may not know, Gary Barta is the current AD who was accused of discrimination and a whole host of other employment claims against the administration that lost the University of Iowa $6.5 million for what the jury found to be a law-breaking dismissal of not one, but two females in athletics. Here's the video.
Obviously, when we made our decisions, we felt like we were in the right. The jury decision was not what we expected, certainly not what we wanted. The HR review that President Harold has mentioned isn't yet underway, but I know he's working through that process. We welcome it. We don't have any concerns specifically. I look at it as an opportunity to see, where can we continue to get better, not just athletics, but through the university.
Gary, Iowa will not get better under your leadership, no matter what report comes out from HR. How do I know this? Because you lost $6.5 million for your institution. And all you can say is we're moving forward while you admit zero wrongdoing.
And then finally, just my observation in the years I've been here, since 2006, the mood and the culture of our student athletes, our coaches, and our staff has never been better.
You talk about culture at Iowa being the best that it's ever been since 2006, and the environment for your student athletes being very positive.
Looking back, do you, are there mistakes you made along the way that you regret and you'd like to talk about?
I won't talk about anything specifically. What I will tell you is that, and obviously I've had a lot of time to think about it over the last couple of years, in principle, I'm very confident with the decisions that we made and that I made. Tactically, I suppose you can always think of things that you could have improved upon from a tactical standpoint, but from a principle standpoint, we felt like we made the right decisions, which is why it went to court. Obviously, we ended up with a result that we didn't expect or want.
This is confusing because the student athletes and the rest of the country watched you lose in a court of law. Not just lose, but a loss so bad that you had to throw in the towel for round two.
Why did you decide to settle then with Tracy and then ultimately with Jane?
It was just decided that, did we want to go through an appeal process, a federal court lawsuit filed by Jane, and then another trial with Tracy. And we just decided for the mood, the culture, and the benefit of the department and the university, it was just time to move forward.
And a jury decision of 8 individuals who saw right through you and awarded Jane Meyer and Tracy Griesbaum millions.
How do you feel about your job security based on with all this?
I always look at job security as a day-to-day situation in my job, and I sort of jokingly say that. But President Harold has been behind me 100% since he arrived. He knew when he took the job about this situation. He talked to a lot of people about it to find out what happened, how it happened, and he's been supportive from day one.
You stated that you have the support of the president and many people at Iowa who knew what was going on. This feels a lot like a flat-out admission that you worked systematically with a specific group of loyalists who assisted you in removing both Jane and Tracy.
I mean, publicly, you've been accused of being a bigot. I mean, how have you wrestled with that personally?
Not just in this decision, but every decision I make. I work in a job that's very public. And so I think you all watch and see through social media, just about every decision we make and every decision I make is criticized at some level. So over the years, I have to develop a thick skin.
Gary, there's so many things to judge you on in this, but please do not ever speak as if your bigotry, sexism, and discriminatory behavior is up for interpretation or somehow a matter of varying public opinion.
I always go back to the principle of our decisions. If we make decisions based on what we think are strong principles and done for the right reasons, do it with integrity, then I expect criticism, not just in this case, but in everything we do. And I sleep well at night knowing I did the best I could with the information I had.
You broke the law. Actually, you broke many laws, and you paid the price. Or did you? Because you're still employed at the University of Iowa.
Is there any moment you considered resigning in the last month?
No.
The good news is that you openly admitted that you never feared losing your job during this entire legal process. This is called privilege, because because most employees who hand their places of business a $6.5 million loss usually aren't so lucky.
Is any of the criticism warranted?
I don't know what criticism specifically you'd ask about, but again, I made decisions, and it wasn't made in a vacuum. All the decisions we made were made with the Attorney General's office, the President's office, HR. So people can be critical of everything we do. At the end of the day, we stand by the decisions we made.
But really, how will the culture at the University of Iowa survive from this? Now, when you have openly stood up in front of the world and refused to admit any wrongdoing.
We did what we thought was right at the time. We still believe that principally we were in the right. Tactically, could we have done some things differently? I suppose. But at this point, you learn from whatever you learn. The HR review, if we learn anything from that tactically we can improve upon, we will.
The bad news for Iowa is that the Good Old Boy Network is alive and well. And until there is someone within the Iowa leadership that is willing to admit that there is a poisonous culture in their athletic department and at their institution, this will continue no matter how many lawsuits are filed.
But we're really moving forward. And as I mentioned, I can't emphasize enough. I've been here since 2006. Our coaches, our student athletes, our administrators, the mood and the culture has never been better since I've been here. And that tells me a lot about where we're headed.
Yet still, somehow you insist that the culture is wonderful.
And again, other than the very focused situation that received a lot of attention here, not as much nationally, there hasn't been a single person who's concerned about coming to work for us.
Gary, all that you have proven from this interview is that you care more about your job and protecting the institution that protects you than you do about doing the right thing. We need to stop sitting around and asking why there are so few women in athletics. Gary Barta eliminated 2 in one sweep and is still able to smile for the camera and for the reporters. Welcome to what life is like for women in college athletics. No one should be surprised that there are so few of us. I'm Becky Carlson. Be fearless.